The time is exactly 8:51 a.m. News and views on Salam Media. And next, we're going to be talking with Sandile Swana. He is a political analyst. We're going to be looking at the situation around Mpho Phalatse, who we understand is the Johannesburg mayor again. So it turns out that Mpho Phalatse was correct when she insisted that she was still the executive mayor of Johannesburg. And this to the Gauteng High Court at least. In a judgment handed down on Tuesday morning in the High Court in Joburg, the judge has declared that the 30th September decision to remove Mpho Phalatse in a motion of no confidence was unlawful, unconstitutional, and invalid. But that still begs the question, doesn't it? What is her future now? Where do we stand on the situation? Because if she comes back as Johannesburg mayor, there's going to be obviously motions behind the scenes to possibly get her out again. Sandile Swana, a very good morning to you. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Julie, and to your listeners.
So, what do you make of this drama playing out between Mpho Phalatse and obviously the council? And it also brings into question, doesn't it, the role of the speaker, Colleen Makubele, that spearheaded this drama playing out in the Johannesburg Council?
Indeed, it is disappointing on two fronts. The first front being that Colleen Makubele, at this early stage of her career at the top structures of the municipality, is already spearheading illegal activities, unlawful activities that are unconstitutional and generally unlawful and unprocedural. So it would appear that the new speaker, Colleen Makubele, is actually ushering the city of Joburg into a period of lawlessness and general disregard for the law. Secondly, the African National Congress has been in power since 1994. They should by now be very familiar with the requirements of the Systems Act, the Structures Act, and all municipal law, as well as the Constitution of South Africa, for them to be joyfully and enthusiastically part of activities that are unconstitutional, generally unlawful, and illegal is exceptionally worrying, especially if they claim to be restoring the prosperity of the city, because there can be no prosperity without the law. Lastly, it is pleasing that the DA did not allow this lawlessness to continue unchallenged, regardless of what the end may be for them and Mpho Phalatse. But the idea among South Africans and the belief that everything must be done according to the laws as they exist, as well as the Constitution, is a noble idea that must never be abandoned. And I congratulate them indeed on their success in court, whereby they correctly argued that Mpho Phalatse never stopped being the mayor of Johannesburg.
What happens now? Because there is a possibility that they could appeal this judgment, although Panyaza Lesufi has indicated yesterday to the media that they are not going to go on appeal. But just on the off chance that they decide to go there, how tenable will it be for Mpho Phalatse to regain her throne, so to speak? Is it going to be a situation of them making her life as difficult as possible? Can they do that? How is this all now going to play out? And how soon does she occupy her seat again? Because we understand that the acting or the mayor that took over from her has very graciously said that he has vacated the seat and her office. That is Mr. Morero.
Yes, I think that it is good for Dada Morero to vacate the office as a disciplined cadre of the glorious movement, the African National Congress. You cannot continue to be part of unlawful activities and creating chaos in the city of Johannesburg. So that is good. At the same time, we all knew, and the ANC has known for some time, that at their best, they can only be kings in a borrowed robe, and their days are always numbered. I think, if I remember correctly, they only hold 33% of the seats in the council. Anyway, they are no longer the majority that they used to be. So anytime they want to taste power, they must go through the corridors opened for them by the likes of EFF and Action SA, more especially those two who are the kingmakers in the city of Johannesburg. And I believe that Action SA and Mashaba are courting the DA to say, DA, please come on board. Let us build a proper coalition, abandon the white supremacy ideas, abandon arrogance, abandon unjustified demands on the coalition. So the doors are open for the ANC to be kicked out of power anyway. So any mischief to try and make the life of Mpho Phalatse unworkable can only be permitted by the EFF and Action SA, and it is unlikely to be permitted.
The DA have made accusations against Mpho Phalatse, even though she is a stalwart of the DA. And I think she was in a bit of hot water because apparently she had suggested that the DA go into talks with the EFF, and they were very, very unhappy about that situation. Where do we stand on that? And is she indeed going to be free to take up office again?
Mpho Phalatse is in an awkward position. And this is a big topic in the country at the moment, because people who are not close to local politics, such as the politics of Johannesburg, Helen Zille and her group sitting in Cape Town, sitting on their verandas, can make a decision about who the DA in Johannesburg can partner with and who not. The irony of it all is that because we are so poor politically, intellectually we are bankrupt at the moment with South Africa. It's hard to find a politician who's intellectually solid in South Africa. And I say that in this way. The DA is able to partner with the Freedom Front Plus, as I understand it. They are able to partner with the PA. The Freedom Front Plus is a pro-white organization. Some will even tell you that the Freedom Front Plus is not only pro-white, it is anti-black, and they actually partner with that organization. The PA is one of the most dubious organizations, if you ask me, because the PA, while we have a long history of united black politics, the PA has started what you can call a colored party, in essence. And there are many questions and many bridges they have to cross politically in terms of philosophy and ideology, because they are starting tribal politics, basically. But the DA is prepared to actually partner with them. The EFF, on the other hand, is taking old politics, maybe distorting them, I do not know, of Robert Sobukwe, the politics of Stephen Biko, the politics that say black people in general must have a proper stake in the South African economy and so on. Call it pro-black and anti-white monopoly capital.
Okay, let me stop you there. You talk about the EFF. They're very pro-black. They're always talking about land redistribution, etc., etc. But Julius Malema is highly militant, or is it from time to time that he has to go out and make these very, dangerous comments and stir up the black youth, the young unemployed black youth? And he really does make very, very dangerous statements about having a gun, and the rifle has to do its job, etc. If you're not in the right frame of mind, you are going to misunderstand those type of statements, and you're going to take to the streets and start killing indiscriminately and cause a lot of mayhem. What is his agenda? Does he feel he's not being heard?
Unfortunately, we have to be scientific in what we're dealing with here. What I mean by that is that these allegations of Julius Malema inciting violence have not been substantiated in court by people who are trained and experienced to determine exactly that. Instead, the courts have found in his favor in very recent case, for instance, of AfriForum. So for you and I as ordinary civilians to come on the radio and make those kinds of statements contradicting the judges is also unreasonable. And I'm not even saying the EFF is correct or is right or wrong. I am saying if we look at their track record with the Human Rights Commission, with the courts, and wherever everybody could actually go and make a complaint and sustain that complaint, it has not happened in as far as I'm aware. So,
okay,
but
Sandile,
the point must not
be respect. With due respect, you know I love picking your brain. With due respect, I'm not referring to that old case, the AfriForum case. I'm referring to a new clip that I've just received. I'm going to forward it on to you, where Julius Malema makes these very insightful calls to the youth to take up arms. So, and of course, we need to view it in perspective. We need to see where and how it's come about and where that rally or that talk was being held. But I will forward it on to you, and then perhaps we can have a discussion around that in the future. Let's get back to Mpho Phalatse. Let's get back to the DA. Let's get back to the fact regarding her position. What's going to happen with her? Does it make sense? Will it make sense for her to take back her position as mayor of Johannesburg?
Yes, that is the point I was trying to make, actually. The point I'm trying to make is that Herman Mashaba, if you want to put it that way, when he was mayor of Johannesburg and after the elections of 2021,
I've lost your sound. All right. I've lost your sound. Just hang on. All right. We're going to go for a quick ad break whilst we try and reconnect with Sandile Swana, political analyst, giving us his deep insights into the current situation regarding Mpho Phalatse and the mayoral seat in Johannesburg.
Listen to Salam Media.
South Africa, are you ready? Penny Appeal South Africa is proud to announce, for the first time in South Africa, For Good Tour featuring Saeed, Rehan Karim, Muad and friends coming to your city in November 2022.
I'm grateful for every single thing you've given me.
Cape Town, 19th of November. Johannesburg, 20th of November. Durban, 26th of November. Get your tickets via Quicket while seats are available. Proceeds in aid of Children of the World Project. Contact 031 1100 573 or email info@pennyappeal.org.za. See you there. For Good Tour, brought to you by Penny Appeal South Africa.
Kids these days are smart, and when you're competing for their attention against their smartphones, you need to make smart choices, like using Sunfoil triple refined pure sunflower oil in every meal you make. It's naturally cholesterol-free and approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a balanced eating plan. So whether you're cooking, frying, or baking, you get the great tasting results that'll get their attention faster than the latest app. And if that doesn't work, change the Wi-Fi password. Sunfoil. Now we're cooking.
Discover the Africa of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042 203 1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back. We are talking with Sandile Swana, political analyst. We're looking at the issue around Mpho Phalatse, who may be returning to her throne shortly. Sandile, are you there? Sandile? Okay, we're not winning. I've just heard from my producer Nasreen that we will be talking with Mpho Phalatse herself a little later on in the show. So we will be able to fill in all those gaps from the interview with Sandile Swana. Thank you indeed for being with us. We are now going to be joined by Zaid Jadwat, our news correspondent with the news bulletin of the morning. Assalamu alaikum. Are you there, Zahid? Okay, I think we're still trying to reconnect with Zaid, so please do bear with us, inshallah.